What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about planting and post-plant and anti-planting in the game of Rainbow Six Siege. Before we go any further, there are links to my Twitch and Twitter in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. So, I say this a lot. You might be tired of it if you watch lots of my videos, but this game does not revolve around kills. It revolves around defusing, planting the diffuser, and defusing the diffuser for the bomb, right? So, because you can get 0 kills and win, and you can ace the round and lose. So it doesn't matter about kills, right? For this example, we're gonna say that the objective is upstairs in hookah, and we're gonna be going from the attacker's perspective first on what you should be doing while you're planting, right? We're gonna go over both objectives, starting with hookah, okay? First off, you're gonna need to try and deny any nitro cell play. For this site, right up over in here, the main place that's gonna be not suspect, but kind of nitro sellable is Sunrise, right? The default plant is back here. If you nitro cell right there, you will kill the people planting. So what's going to be important is having control of Sunrise. If that means at the beginning of the round, having somebody walk in through this towel into the bar and just sit behind the couch here the whole game, not peeking anything, when you go to plant, make sure that nobody goes for a nitro cell, then yeah, that might be what you have to do. That's happened in some of the games I've been in, some of the teams I've been on, and it works really well because nobody expects you just to be sitting down there making sure that what they're about to do, the nitro cell, doesn't happen, right? As for actually planting, there are different spots you want to be planting, right? If you don't have control of downstairs and you think you're going to get nitro celled, make sure you're on something like a couch, or you can plant on the couch, you can plant on the bar. I probably recommend the bar if you're able to, just because it's higher up, and I don't know, the shrapnel in this game is really inconsistent, so you still might even die on top of the bar, but you will definitely die if you're on the floor, right? And then my next tip is about using your utility. For Capital, he's really good for planting because he has fire and smoke. So what I recommend you do for this is you would probably want to fire and smoke. There's usually going to be a rotate right here onto cool vibes. You're going to want to smoke and fire that. And then usually there's going to be a rotate right here into billiards. You're going to want to smoke and fire that. Whether that be playing from hookah window or playing from this door. I probably would want to be from a hookah window to be able to get the rotate, both rotates, and then you would just have this door open, which is easy because you can just rappel back here and you can easily watch the door and nothing will happen to your planter. Going on to the planting, there are ways to fake nitro cells and smoke canisters. Basically, walk into site, hold your button to plant. Once the diffuser is opened and you start typing, they're probably going to throw something, whether it be a C4 or a smoke. Once you hear the C4 audio rip or you see the smoke canister, then you run out, and now they've wasted some of their anti-plant utility, and it's going to be very, very easy for you to get a plant off, right? So we have talked about where you should place your utility and where you should plant on hookah. Now we're going to move over to billiards. These are the same principles you can apply to any site. But for this example, let's move down to what's this called? Blue bar, because we are down here. Because the principles can be applied to any site. I just want to choose 2 sites so you see that, right? So what's going to be very important, on the top floor, we could get nitro celled from downstairs to upstairs, but on this floor, we can only get nitro celled from the same floor. That doesn't mean we don't need to take any vertical control. Taking inside of hookah to take Sunrise, kind of like the opposite, is going to be very important. Because if there's usually this wall is going to be reinforced, and this wall, and this wall. So playing behind these couches is very, very strong. And the reason is, if you're a smoke player, you can smoke all the way back behind the bomb to plant there. You can contest any plants here. You can contest the hallway, pretty much all of that. But for this example, we're going to be planting blue bar. And there's usually going to be a rotate right here and some type of opening up in the ceiling over here, making it possible for you to be nitro celled. So what's going to be important is taking upstairs in Sunrise to be able to deny the play from back here, right? And the reason for that is basically there's kind of like a checklist you want to go through. You want to deny where they can play their utility. You want to fake some utility, and then you ultimately want to plant. All right. So, like just in the hookah example, we take away where they can nitro cell or smoke from. We go in, maybe you start to plant here, or maybe you go, when you go to fake plant, you don't want to use all of your utility unless you have a lot of it, right? Like if you have a jackal and a cabbitao, you have 4 smokes. You might use one, go to fake plant, and then beta C4, beta smoke canister, and then go again, right? But for this example, we're only going to be running with a cabbitao. So being able to fake plant is really going to come down to either planting in off positions, like not planting in the middle of the bar, planting on one of the far ends, or planting maybe running up onto this wall or running up to the couch, pretty much planting in an odd spot where you might not be expected to plant. There are default spots to every site, like default will be behind the bar, so planting not behind the bar, maybe just walk in and plant next to this door, that would be really smart as well. But for your utility placement for this site, you're going to want to probably smoke off the rotate, smoke off this kind of area in the middle here, maybe smoke off probably the door and the rotate, because you can't really see from the holes up there, and even then you'd be able to kill somebody from there. Usually there's going to be footholes in courtyard, so courtyard control is going to be important. But these are basically the principles for any attack. Basically the checklist, clearly where they can play the utility, clear some utility by fake planting, and then eventually planting. For post plant, what it's going to come down to is just holding angles. You don't want to swing things, because if it's a 4v4 and you got the diffuser down, if you go to swing something you don't need to and you die, now it's a 3v4. And if one of your teammates does the same, now it's a 2v4. The defenders are going to be getting aggressive because they only have 40 seconds to defuse. So if you're just holding an angle and make them come to you, then you're going to end up winning that round. Now on to the defensive side. All right, so now we're on defense. Smoke is probably the best, one of the best defenders to stop planting. And so we're just going to be walking through what you can be doing on the defensive side. Mainly with smoke, you're going to be opening up, this also works for nitro cells, opening up some throw angles where you're protected, like you're protected from right here, but you can smoke all the way back far into hookah, into the couches. Your smoke lands all the way right here, which will go, if you throw it even higher, land directly behind. You can also do this with a nitro cell. Really comes down to just how you throw it. And with smoke and even some shrapnel mechanics in Rainbow Six Siege, if you were to open up a hole right here and you throw a C4 through this hole and it lands where that hole is, right there, when you blow it up, it'll blow up through the floor here and kill anybody planting here. Or you can throw a smoke grenade close in this corner. This works on a couple maps, like Villa this works, and it clips through the wall and it stops them from planting, right? So that's pretty much what it comes down to. You want to try and use your utility when they're planting. You will get faked out sometimes, but you really want to wait for them to be sticking the plant, right? Not just you hear them open the diffuser, then you throw it. You want to wait for them to be typing a few seconds, and when kind of almost at the last second, then you use your utility to stop them, because you don't want to just waste it, right? Now let's go into the post plant scenario. Let's say they got your utility burnt and now you have to retake the site and defuse. So mainly what it's going to come down to is getting aggressive, right? You don't have, you have some time, you have 40 seconds, but you don't have a bunch of time to like check every corner, check all your cams, whatever it may be. You have to get aggressive, but not sprint. You don't want to be over aggressive. You still want to play smart. You got to be like smart and aggressive, but also passive, right? Because if you know they planted, let's say right there, that doesn't mean go straight for the diffuser. That doesn't mean go straight for a swing, right? If you have two teammates and you know, okay, they're on the balcony, if you have somebody play the shield or somebody hold an angle here as your teammate runs around the couches to go defuse, that's a lot better. If it's ever a 2vx situation, which is basically 2 versus any amount of opponents, you want to have one person defuse and one person hold an angle. So in this scenario, something that could be good is one of your teammates goes for the defuse and you play here with a shotgun, right? If this door is open, you might even want to be here with the SMG-11 or play even on the diffuser, play close with the shotgun. Basically, play as strong as you can with the operators you are playing and try to defuse, right? The best way to fake defuse, in my opinion, is you kind of tap and hold your defuse button, right? So it buzzes once, you let go, you buzz again. So you want to buzz either 2 or 3 times, and then the attacker will be like, okay, they're defusing, I gotta push up here, and then you hop off the defuse and you can easily win the fight, right? So that's pretty much all I have to say. When it comes to attacking, you want to check off where they can play their utility from. So whether that be behind back in that bar, maybe buck from downstairs. If they're nitro selling from sunrise, then play sunrise maybe with your buck player. For actually planting, use your utility to block lines of sight. So like, let's say you want to plant here, don't smoke where you're gonna plant and run in and plant, because now the planter can't see and you can't see past the planter. You want to smoke off where the defenders will be coming from, or where they will be looking from, right? Because now they're not going to be able to see you, but you can much easier see where they're coming from and maybe get the advantage and kill them before they can kill your planter, right? And then post plant, just hold angles, don't play super aggressive unless they are diffusing. If you hold your angles correctly, they shouldn't even be able to get to the diffuser. Now when it comes to the defensive side, it's kind of like the opposite. Make sure you hold on to your utility until they are planting, and not, you know that they're not faking, but they're actually pretty far through the plant animation. And when it comes to, let's say the diffuser gets planted, because most of the time it can be planted, then you're going to want to be quick to move, but not over quick, right? That doesn't really make sense, but basically you want to be smart, but still strong and moving forward. Whether that be have a teammate hold an angle while you go for the diffuser, or maybe checking the cams first, see like leave a Valk cam outside on the balcony. Okay, 2 are on the balcony. That means that maybe 1's on the window, and then you can move with that intel, right? You want to give yourself the best chance you can, and your best chance is not by sprinting straight for the diffuser. And then for basically faking, just spam your diffuse button until the attackers run at you, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. I stream pretty much every day, link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.